And finally, for today's episode, let's turn to David Trim for a look at Adventist history.
This week, we hear about the start of two important Adventist institutions in the U.S. state of North Carolina.
Welcome to This Week in Adventist History. September 6, 1910 was the date of the first meeting of the Board of Trustees of the Naples Agricultural School. This was a group of Adventist laymen and women, led by Mrs. Martha Rumbaugh and Professor Sidney Brownsberger, who wanted to found a self-supporting school at Naples near Fletcher in Henderson County, North Carolina. They had been inspired by the example of a similar school at Madison, Tennessee. As at Madison, the school gave rise to a sanitarium. But while the Madison institutions eventually closed, two institutions continue the work begun at Naples. The sanitarium long since ceased to be self-supporting, and today it comes under the church's Advent Health system. What is now called Advent Health Hendersonville is a 103-bed hospital that last year treated more than 370,000 patients. Fletcher Adventist Academy, meanwhile, is still self-supporting and thus continues the original vision of those first Naples school trustees. And also on the 6th of September, but 29 years earlier, in 1881, an article by Ellen G. White was published in the Review and Herald. It presented one of the clearest statements of what today we call total member involvement. Ellen White wrote, "When Christ ascended, he left the church and all its interests as a sacred trust to his followers, bidding them see that it was kept in a flourishing condition. This work cannot be left to the ministers alone. Every member should feel that he or she has entered into a solemn covenant with the Lord to work for the best interests of his cause at all times and under all circumstances. Each should have some part to act, some burden to bear, investing something in time and interest for the life and prosperity of the church." There's a good thought for the Adventist present and future that comes from This Week in Adventist History.